this is for your March, okay, which is coming up very soon, okay. So as normal, people have requested songs back, so if you just find this channel, I used to put songs in the description that may relate to your circumstance, okay. Your sun, moon and risings, you can watch those. There should be songs in them too. Everything will be in the description. There'll be some gobbledygook that's also in there, but just skip through that. There's also a link to Vimeo. The first spread will be here, and the second part to it, where I get deeper into things, will be all clarified over on Vimeo. There's a buy all option where you can buy the whole package for like 3 or 4 months, and it'll give you access to everything for £15, okay? Or each individual reading is £3. But everything and all the things in the description are there, and for private readings they're also there too. Okay, so let's have a look. Gemini. So how are you lot getting on? Gemini for March. Gemini for March. So taking a new direction. This is also Gemini, Virgo or Pisces, I think. So we've got an ending and an ending, which is also an ending. An ending. So it depends on the clarifying deck. This can be because of an ending. Because of an ending, it's bringing more money and finances and stability within yourself, or it can be a complete loss altogether. But it depends. What goes around comes around. 10. We've got 0, 10 and 10. Okay. So what goes around comes around. So through balance of the universe, it depends on which side of the scale you're on, and it depends on which ascension path your soul is on and what you've come here to experience. It depends on the blame game, if you're blaming, if you're hating. Okay, if you're hating and you're causing destruction, if you're not and you're backing your energy and you are just leaving people to do their own kind of work, or whatever people do behind people's backs or behind people's backs that make you feel like this way, okay, anything like that. If it's all done behind your back or in front of your eyes, if it's in front of your eyes, then you have to ask yourself, well, why am I still in it? Okay, so then it could have something to do with family and something that's built up within a family. Okay, but it's happened many a times. So if not, depending on the start of the scale, if you're more of a guide and you're more someone that's willing to take any kind of direction that you wish yourself, for your own needs and for your own wealth and for your own good, then you're on the other side of the scale, and you have financial balance and stability within your emotions because of an ending. Because you've probably made a judgment call yourself in order to walk in a new direction, and you're leaving people behind that make you feel dead in the water. Okay, so that might be another one, which is David Gray, Dead in the Water. I think we had that before. It's dead in the water. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus for March. Yeah. Waiting. Waiting. Give a toast to the douchebags. Sorry. So there's the Ace of Pentacles. It's facing away from an ending, and it's still causing. It's kind of like waiting for karma to return, or waiting for someone to return with a more of a stable offer, or you're wanting to make a stable offer in a new direction with work, with people that are more stable. People that are more stable doesn't have to mean financially stable. It can just mean people that are just more stable within their emotions. Okay, that are more spiritual. You know, it depends on what path you're on. In order to find people that you relate to, okay, if you're extremely spiritual, then if people are not spiritual at all and they hate that, then you're not in alignment with them, no matter who they are. You know, if your beliefs are strong and they're kind of open, and you're very open to receive, and you are very gifted, because this is someone that's very gifted, okay? If you're very gifted, then you find someone within alignment within yourself that doesn't cause this, endings and endings and endings. This can be an ending and a beginning. It really does depend, because you've got 2 10s. Depends what happens over on Vimeo, okay? But you've got earth sign, air sign, fire sign. But it's overall, it's kind of facing this way and facing this way. It's like a face-off. Someone's going back to their past, someone's going back to their past, and someone's going in this direction. So it's kind of like avoiding. Someone's avoiding an ending, or there has been an ending and there's separation, and people go this way and you go that way, okay? Or they do or you do, okay? Because there's two offers going in two different directions, really, because the Fool is heading this way, which is back to the past, okay? The New is heading this way. So it can mean someone that you meet that's new, that gives you a more of an offer that you're kind of waiting to find someone different, okay? You're waiting for things to come into fruition to build something up with somebody. Why don't you build me up, buttercup baby, won't you let me down? Lying around and then after all. Yeah, because you've definitely got someone that's walking towards their past and someone that's walking towards the future. Someone that's looking more towards the future, that's wanting to broaden their horizons, kind of still waiting for something to happen, but they are concentrated more on work and stability, growing their finances, growing their career, letting things end, which is letting things end. Just let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Then you've also got Fool, which is another Beatles song, right? So let's have a look. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. There you go, someone's definitely walking away. But don't you know that it's a fool who plays it cool? Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. It's a heavy burden, right, Gemini? Even though that's a 10 of Swords, that's still a heavy burden. It's a 10. And so is a 10 of Pentacles. It's a heavy burden, can be. It's a heavy burden to be a guide if you're a guide, because you have to take on criticism. And you have to walk away and leave people alone, you know. You might like spending time alone. I've got a Gemini moon and I love spending time alone, you know. But it keeps me out of conflict. Keeps me out of conflict, you know. So I definitely walk away from the past. Because you can't. Because if you don't walk away from things that just remain stuck, okay, and endings all the time, you rely more on codependency. So then it stops money and it stops finances. If they do, that's them that's having a financial loss, okay, because they've took their past back or something like that. Because that's a returning as like fucking how many times has this got happened for me to feel like roadkill? I've done it time and time again. I've come back, I've walked away, and I've come back and I've walked away a long fucking time. A long time. Over and over and over again. So now I'm foolish enough that someone has probably walked back to their past, but they've walked away again. So someone is walking back and walking away. Towards mid-month, maybe. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. For March. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising for March. So you've got the Empress. Wow, so you've got Capricorn, which is an ending with a Capricorn, an ending of a karmic contract, law. Also have Taurus showing up at the bottom of the deck. We also have the Empress facing the Devil. Also, like the Empress, they both can be in their highest vibration or their lowest vibration. I've just gone over this in the Pisces reading, so I don't know if you like got involved with a Pisces or you are or not, okay? But the Emperor, okay, he has enough wisdom and respect under his belt because he's a leader, so he has to prove himself to his people pretty much, right? If you look at metaphysical law and stuff. So he becomes that wise, where he's kind of like, well, okay, well, you go your way, I'll go my way. I have enough respect and wisdom is where I draw that energy in and I accept my lessons because I have enough respect to let people go. Okay, I let people go their own way so I can go my way, because if you don't love me, then there's no point in fighting and battling over codependency and addiction of endings. Okay, so then you have the separation of avoidance of karmic scales. Some are balanced and some are imbalanced. Okay, so when the devil energy shows up, don't ever form obsession. Okay, never form obsession, because that's the lesson, is codependency. It's codependency, you know. But it can mean an ending to codependency because of the 10. So that can mean that someone's experiencing an ending of fearing abandonment and of fearing, because this is detachment. You see, you can't, no matter what you do with any healer, they will never be able to sever a contract. Never. You can sever it yourself by keep walking and concentrating on your healing path and your healing growth. Okay? Because people in our lives, if they want to be with the decent, then they have to come to the decent. If they want to go back to their past and continue on a karmic cycle of a chain of 10, then they go back to their past and they learn more about codependency and entrapment. Okay, so then you start to know where you are. Okay, so if anything feels overly burdened and overly stressful, and you're fighting with someone, don't. You back off. Okay, and you let people play out their karmic patterns, because there's a karmic pattern regardless. Because God never puts a connection together to make you hate yourself. They put it together to make you learn to love yourself. That's what connection's for. That's what soulmate relations for. That's what love relationships are for. That's what money is about. It's about ascension. Is realizing that things are not controllable in life. You can't control it because there's an endless amount of source of it. You can have as much as you want, but you have to become very under control, and not codependent on the want, me and I. Okay, which is the devil. Money is the root of all evil. Okay, so because it has an attachment, like a label of an addiction. Okay, it's an addiction. So God puts situations together to help people detox. If they don't detox from love and they don't realise what that is, they stay in denial, which is denial love, or denial of codependency. Denial of codependency of drinking, drugs, alcohol, over obsession, being obsessed over. Okay, this can be you or them, other people, Gemini. You know, I'm not going to lie. It can be you and it can be them. Okay, but if you're blaming them, then you know where you are. You can't blame people. Okay, you have to help. Some of you are very healing. You're healers, and you're helping someone heal from an ending and detoxing, helping cleanse their soul. Some, because this is a nurturing energy. This here, this is a return also, like meaning like the Empress. I'm willing. I have enough respect, like the Emperor. I have enough respect that the fact that I will remain in not power like a power play, but I have people to guide. I have more important things to do than what I do to deal with people that are over codependent. It depends what clarifies, because these are endings or beginnings. Okay? Or it can just mean that someone's experienced an ending with a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus, or an ending of a marriage or a karmic contract of law, because the Hierophant. But that can also mean that you've also got Taurus, or they have in the chart. Yeah, trying to find, the universe is going to find balance. Yeah, so you've got somebody also that stays in power. So you've got, so you've got Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's judgment. It's like justice in a way. It's like a calling. Someone has a calling in another direction, like the Emperor or the Empress. Someone has a calling as a guide that they have to go in, so they go in that calling. So if you're a tarot card reader, or you're someone that deals with astrology or guiding people, like I was going over the Emperor or the Empress, you have a bigger calling, and it's your destiny. It's your destiny. That is fate. But you have a 10, a 10, and a 10. You've got 3 10s, and you've got 20, which is judgment. That's major fucking endings. That's like huge. Massive. Someone can be very like big in stature, that teaches people about codependency and endings, because they're a guide, because this is their destiny of a calling. The King of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. Okay, they are, it's kind of like a CEO, somebody that's very stern. If this is in reverse, it can be like narcissism or controlling. Okay, but I don't get that feel with this. This is someone that's very well balanced in their feelings and their emotions. They become very stern. They become very wise. Okay, they realise that the waiting game isn't something that you can do for too long, because how long is a piece of string? You can wait for a piece of string to end, but it doesn't. Okay, because it forms a loop and a chain. You can just tie it together and it creates a cycle of destiny, cycle of stability, cycle of finding balance. So you become more wise, and then you give it back, like the emperor. Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do, Gemini, we're going to go over to Vimeo, but I'm very intrigued to find out what all these 10s are about, because there's a lot of 10s, 20, 10, 10 and 10. That's like one, that's 11, 11. Sorry. So it's 10, 10, 10 and 20. Maybe, no. Well, kind of. 11. Yeah. I keep picking it up because it's like, I keep seeing it. So, well, it's alignment. Sorry, that's finding alignment. That is alignment. Being in alignment with your calling, with destiny, with calling. Someone's called in one direction and someone's called in another. Yeah, so we're going to go over to Vimeo, okay? Like I said, the songs or anything like that will be in the description if there is one, and it will pretty much be entitled the name of the video, okay? But it will be in there. If you want a reading or anything like that, there's emails and all the links to all the descriptions over on Vimeo are also there. Okay, guys, I shall catch you soon on the flip side. Peace.